Hello and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Don Lewis.
Hello, hello.
And if you have a question for us, please go ahead and post your question in chat and we will answer with a 3-card, more or less, reading. Or if you don't have a question, just say hi and tell us where you're from.
Yes, indeed.
And hello to Lena and Goody Bell.
Hello, hello.
And let's see, Lena is asking for a general reading.
Okay.
And Goody says she's YouTubing in from Odessa, Texas.
Oh, cool. So I have drawn 3 cards. The first card is the Soul. And the Soul basically says that whatever Lena is working on in this next 2 to 3 weeks are things that are actually very important to her spiritual journey. They're very important to the purpose of this incarnation, the reasons that she is here. So pay attention to that and try to attune to that in your life. Look for those themes, those lessons, and work with them. With that, we have the King of Lamps. The King of Lamps is meditation and self-knowledge, which basically is the same thing. Pay attention to your inner self, to your higher self, to what your reason to be here is. Allow that to inform your decisions at this time. Allow that to help you to move forward. And then we have the 6 of Swords, and the 6 of Swords is a journey. Can be a physical journey, but given these other 2 cards, I'd say what it's really saying is that you're on a journey of personal awakening, personal consciousness expansion, and relax and go with it. Tune into your purposes and embrace moving forward spiritually at this time. There may be other things that you might also like to be doing, but your spirituality actually is the most important thing at this moment. I'm going to draw a Brian card for you because of course I am. And I've drawn the Ace of Coins, which is the exact opposite. It's money and prosperity. So what I would say to that is that, well, you may find yourself in a period of stability and prosperity that allows you to focus on your spirituality and take advantage of that and enjoy it. And there you go.
So the first card I've got for you is the 4 of Swords. And this means that you have been in kind of a timeout or a rest period. And then I've got Justice, which is earning the fruits of your labor. Something you've been working on is coming to you. And then I've got the 3 of Cups. So there's going to be something for you to celebrate about. And then when I pull one more card, I get Judgment. So in this reading, I see it alongside the Justice card. So it's something you have been working towards. And hello to Lynn, and hello to Ed. And Ed is pointing out that next Thursday is a very special day.
Indeed. And what day is that?
It's the 25th anniversary of Witch School.
It is. And, you know, it's hard to believe that it's been 25 years. Now, I've talked before about how when you come to that point in life, when you're looking back at the 20th anniversary of this and the 30th anniversary of that, it's very sobering. But it's also, you know, very gratifying to think that something that you were involved in creating is still going 25 years later. Not everybody can say that. So, yay, Witch School 25th anniversary. And to celebrate the 25th anniversary, we're going to have 11 days of broadcasting of various pieces. And it will be lots to celebrate. And please celebrate with us and watch for it on Magic TV and various other places.
Yes, and Ed adds it's arriving at 9:33 p.m.
Okay.
All right. And you're very welcome, Lena. And next we have Goody Bell's question. May I have a reading about should I exit my coven due to distance or try to make it work? I have the opportunity to start something where I live currently, and I feel like I'm ready, but am I?
Well, there are two different questions there because these things don't necessarily exclude one another. Starting a new one doesn't necessarily require leaving the old one, but let's see what the cards have to say.
Okay. Well, it depends on the tradition, though.
I suppose that's true.
Well, I did not have either possibility particularly in mind. And the first two cards I drew were the Nine of Pentacles and the Happy Family. And these are both cards of very good fortune. Then I drew the Three of Pentacles, and this is a card about being recognized for doing very good work. And when I draw a fourth card, the infamous Brian card, I get the Four of Swords. So those two, the last two cards make me inclined to think the guidance might be towards taking a break from your current situation and working on building a new coven where you are.
I have drawn the 7 of coins, the 9 of cups, and the soul. So the 7 of coins says that, there are a lot of things to consider, and it's not necessarily an easy choice. So what you really need to ask yourself is, what do you want to do? I'm inclined to say that you can go either way, but you need to make a decision for what it is that you want. And what you choose is what you're going to get. The 9 of Cups is the wish card. It is basically saying, choose what you want, but understand that is what you're going to get. That means be clear in what you're choosing. Be conscious of what it is you're actually manifesting. And then we have the soul, and the soul is working on your spiritual lessons in life, working on the things that matter to your soul. I'm going to draw a Brian card. I've drawn the Prince of Swords. And the Prince of Swords is healthy selfishness. It's saying, make sure that your needs are being met, make sure that you're doing what you want to do. And that's kind of come through most of these cards I've drawn, which aren't exactly telling me what you should do, but it's telling me that you already know what you should do. And you are coming up with all kinds of reasons why both of these are good ideas, but you know what you want, and you should do it. Do the one that gives you the satisfaction that you require from the situation, not necessarily what anybody else thinks is good. Do what you think is good. And if you do that, you'll be happy with the outcome. And I think you already know which one that will be. And there you go.
Okay. And our next question comes from Lynn, who says, hello, is there a reading for the lunar eclipse?
We can do that.
Yes, we can. And I've been shuffling up for it, and I had an escapee.
Okay.
So my first card is the 6 of Lamps, and this is about finding new revelations, new things being revealed. Then I have the Fool, which means basically the ability to go in any direction we choose. The 2 of Wands, which is new directions, new beginnings, seeing something new off in the distance. And my escapee was the 7 of Pentacles, which means having many options to choose from during this eclipse.
And I have drawn 3 cards. The first card is the Chariot. The Chariot is moving forward and saying this eclipse is going to speed things up and move things forward. With it is Strength, which says that it's going to give people the strength they need to move forward. And it's followed by the 3 of Lamps, which is working with others, and working with others in ways that are productive spiritually. I would take all 3 of these to say that in general, and particularly spiritually, the energy of this eclipse will be moving us forward as a whole. I'm going to draw a Brian card. Brian card is the Magus. And the Magus is being able to work your will in the situation. So I would take this as a very positive thing based on what the cards have to say. And generally speaking, moving us forward. Now, an eclipse in general is about the removal and return of the light. In this case, it's the lunar light, which is the inner self, the magical self, the spiritual self. And I think this will be very spiritually empowering for people. And Goody Bale says, my needs are not being met because my coven is in Dallas and I'm 8 hours away. Well, that kind of answers the question. Yeah, and she says relationships can only go so far when I'm only coming in 1 or 2 times a year and zooming the rest. Well, this is true. So it seems like the decision to start something new is pretty clear.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say that what was there wasn't very, very wonderful and important, but it's perhaps time for something new.
And hello to Sybil and Shaggy in the chat room. You're very welcome, Lynn.
Yes, indeed.
And does anyone else have a question for us?
We were talking about the 25th anniversary of Witch School. You know, in the coming couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about Witch School quite a bit, including some of the adventures of those 25 years. But in the meantime, if you're interested in a Witch School lifetime membership, you can find those at witchschool.org. And of course, you can find the school itself at witchschool.com. And we encourage you to go check that out. Witch School has all kinds of classes, and there are some very exciting announcements coming up during the festivities about upcoming changes to and expansions of the site and its offerings. So please join us for that.
Yes. And Sybil has asked for a reading on their future life mate.
Okay.
All righty.
Are we to assume that this is not someone already present?
Yeah, I assume. Hey, Goody, I'm very sorry for your loss, but we only do one reading for someone during this show.
We'll be back next week.
We will. Sybil says they are single.
Okay, well, first card I have drawn is the Ace of Lamps, which is spirituality. And so in terms of a future life mate, spirituality will be very important. Keep that in mind in dealing with people. But it also says you must remain in touch with your own spirituality. We have the Three of Lamps, which is working with others, particularly for spiritual advancement, working with others to advance in general. So a future life mate would come from social interactions, probably work that you might be doing in the community. And then we have the Magos. And the Magos is the ability to work your will in the situation. The way I want to take that is rather than asking about the person, manifest the person. Tell the universe what you want. The Magos is the ability to get what you want. Tell the universe what is your ideal mate. Ask the universe to send it to you. And our Brian card is the Four of Wands, which, as you can see, kind of says that if you do that, it will come. It's celebration and community, but the particular image is of a marriage. So what I would say, it will be someone that you have a strong spiritual connection with. It will come through social interaction, but also it will come through your manifestation. And so work on it from that angle. And I think that you will, in fact, get a good, successful outcome.
So the first card I've got is the Two of Lamps. And this is about helping others. And I'm going to suggest that perhaps that is how you will meet your future person. I have the Lovers, and this card implies a choice of some kind. It could be among romantic choices. It doesn't mean that. I have the Six of Cups, and this means someone from your past is coming back into your life. That could be who your future partner is. And I have the Ace of Pentacles that was an escapee. So that means keep an eye. Generally, it's good news around your finances and the material realm. I would also add, keep an eye on that when it comes to choosing a life partner. Love in a hovel is no fun, and I'll tell you, I know that. So I hope you find that helpful. So, do we have any questions from anyone else? You're very welcome, Sybil. And I will add a lifetime Witch School membership is truly lifetime. I want to say 2015 or 2016 on mine. Maybe 2014. I would have to go dig into it.
Mm-hmm. And Lynn in the chat room was mentioning 2011. And we have people going back the whole 25 years and even people who go back before the founding of the school to the Daily Goddess, or actually the Daily Spell, where we first offered the lessons, although I think we had them on the Daily Goddess too. But we started this really more than 25 years ago, but the school as such was 25 years ago. It was quite the adventure.
I understand it started out in a corner of your kitchen.
Yes. It was me, Edward, and Lisa in the hutch in my kitchen. The computer was in the hutch. Because it made a nice little place for a computer. And yeah, it was cool.
Okay, Swamp Fan has asked for a career reading for the next month.
Mhm.
But Goody Bell has a question regarding the Corellian degree. How do you formalize degrees if you self-study the books?
Contact the tradition leadership. I would say contact Lord Phoenix or Lady Alyssa directly. You can do that at revphoenix@corellian.com or revalyssa@corellian.com, and they will give you the guidance to do that. Also, Lady Deborah, the Deemstress of Records, who's the person who would actually handle that, but I do not remember her email off the top of my head. But you can find it at corellian.com. This is something that does happen, so of course there is a procedure for it. I don't want to talk in too great of detail because the newer administration may have changed since my day, but they will be happy to help you with it.
Okay, and thank you. And now a career reading for the next month for Swamp Fan.
Okay.
Good to see you, Swamp Fan. And I just happened to notice the Google symbol down in the bottom of my screen. It's the eclipse. Your screen may not be set up the same way mine is, and you may not see it.
Ooh. So, for SWAC fans' career in the next month, Temperance. Temperance is making new things out of old things. It says that in terms of your career, there are a lot of new things, a lot of new beginnings, but they're coming out of what's already there. It's taking things that already exist and approaching them in new ways, using them in new ways. With that, we have judgment. Judgment is getting what you've worked for, getting what you've wanted. So using that upcycling of what's already there, you will be able to achieve your goals for this time period, whatever those goals may be. This followed by the Two of Coins, which is being very, very busy. Also learning and skill, but busy. So expect to be very busy and expect to be drawing upon existing things for new success. Let's draw the Brian card for you because there must be a Brian card. We've drawn the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands says, there are changes coming. They're not necessarily coming in this month, but they're coming. Be patient. They will get there. The things that you wish to see change, you'll see them change. But for right now, build what's within your hands to build. And you will do well with that.
So my first card is the High Priestess. And this card says that for what you are wanting to do, you need to invoke your higher power, however you view that. I've got the mind, so you need to be thinking things through. Are you sure this is what you want to do? And I would also add, how do you need to prepare yourself for what you want to do? Is there something you need to learn, a skill you need to acquire? But the universe is definitely in your favor because you're going to get some luck. along your path, and we will pull a Brian card, and we've got the Four of Wands, and that is achieving what you want. So things are looking good for you, SWAT fan.
Yes. And speaking of Corellian things, this coming Saturday, I will be appearing at the Corellian Midwestern Regional Illustration in Peoria, Illinois. So if you're anywhere near Peoria, Illinois, you might want to attend that. It will be at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Peoria. You can find out more at various places on Facebook. And this will be happening on what would have been Lady Crystal's 81st birthday. And there will also be an announcement related to that. And I guess I'll go ahead and make an early announcement for whoever happens to be watching, and that is that we will be premiering her ancestor card on that day.
Wonderful.
So if you want to get a Lady Crystal ancestor card to add to your ancestor deck, or a new ancestor deck including her card, they will be available after Saturday.
Wonderful. And I will have to add that to my ancestor deck. Okay, and we will pause now for a word from our sponsors, because we love our sponsors.
.com.
Rev Don's Book of Stones, Metals, and Crystals. Everything you always wanted to know about the magical and spiritual properties of stones, metals, and crystals in one book. Get your copy today at CorellianPublishing.com.
CorellianPublishing.com. Two great minds.
Yes.
Rev Don's Book of Astrology. Everything you always wanted to know about the stars in one book. Get your copy today at CorellianPublishing.com.
Okay. And we are back. And Goody Bell says, I'm a UU pagan too. And actually, that's where I'm getting the opportunity to start my own group.
Very good.
Okay, who else has a question for us? Crickets. So we're talking heads.
Apparently we are.
So please join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, on Divination TV and Corellian TV on Facebook and YouTube for the greatest ever pagan super show extravaganza, where we'll be speaking with my dear friend Jody about the Anonymous Crone podcast.
Yes.
And I will be appearing on next week's episode discussing preparing for tarot readings and how to learn to trust your intuition. You're very welcome, Goody Bell.
Yes, indeed.
Pagan Pride in Nashville is Saturday, October the 3rd. Yes, we have time for you, LG Fish. What's your question? Hello, Pandora Pappas, and happy eclipse to you.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you going to watch the eclipse? Is it viewable in Danville tonight?
I doubt that it will be viewable. I think it's technically viewable, but from where I am, I don't think I'd be able to see it. Now,
Okay,
I believe it's only
SWAT
part.
fan, be sure you come to the front gate and tell them you're looking for Mary Hawk. They'll find me. Okay, and LG Fish says if there's any insight for me into what I need to know about that I'm not understanding between me and my brother.
Well, let's see what the cards have to say.
It is supposed to be viewable here, but very late. And I must go to my day job in the morning.
However, not actually seeing it does not mean we'll not benefit from its energy.
Yeah, the energy is there. Of course, if the energy is strong enough, I'll be awake and I might as well go out.
Ooh. So, I have drawn 3 cards, and we'll see if they help. First card is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a timeout period, and they're kind of saying, it might be good to step away from this for the moment. Give it a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, a little bit of a rest. With it is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups basically says, well, you can see the little man in the picture is being frightened by the ghosts, but the ghosts are only ghosts. So it's saying that a lot of what you're worried about here, you're maybe putting too much emphasis on. And again, just give it a little bit of a rest, give it its little time period to do what it needs to do, and take a step back. And then we have the Queen of Coins, which is happiness and prosperity. And I'm going to draw a Brian card. Now, the Brian card is the King of Swords, which is good judgment. So the way I'm going to take all of these is that what you need to do is be patient, give it a little bit of time, maybe step back from it emotionally or otherwise, and you'll find everything is going to straighten itself out, and you need to use your own good judgment in dealing with it. Do not let yourself be convinced of anything you know that you should not be convinced of. Stick to your ground, but also be diplomatic, give it a little bit of a rest, let the situation, I don't know, maybe cool down or at least settle down. from where it perhaps is right now with all the little phantoms running around. And that's what I would say for that.
First card I've got is the Prince of Lamps. So what this card tells me is, number one, quit beating yourself up about it. Next card I've got is past. So let go of the past, and possibly your brother needs to let go of something from the past too. I've also got Wheel of Fortune, which means there's going to be a gift of some kind of fortune from the gods in this matter that will help smooth it over. And when I draw one more card, I get the Lovers, which means you're going to have a choice to make in the matter. So I hope that helps. But above all, don't beat yourself up over it.
Yes.
So I hope that's helpful. And Goody Bell says, it probably won't be clear tonight, and the pink would be at 2:30.
Yeah.
Which is not peak viewing time for those of us who have to be at work 8-ish.
I don't think that's the peak time in our time zone, but it's still late.
Yeah. Though she might set out water or crystals to charge. And Sean wants to know if we felt any effects from the geometric storm we're having. And LG Fish, you're welcome.
Yes, we're Central Time.
Yeah, we're Central.
You know, there are so many things that have been happening that have certainly had effects. I don't know that geometric storm is exactly the term that you're looking for, but things that are going on right now, I actually have been highly invigorated lately. I've had a number of very positive things happen within the last 2-3 days. So yeah, I might attribute those things to anything currently happening, but I'm just kind of happy for them. It's an interesting time we're living through.
Yes. Yes, very interesting times. And Swamp Fan says the eclipse is awesome tonight here in Minnesota.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, and you know, if I were a little farther out in the country, I probably would be looking for it. I live on a small urban street from which I don't really expect to have a clear view, unless I want to go out at a greater distance than I want to go out. Doesn't necessarily mean I may not take a peek, but I'm not overly hopeful of being able to see much.
And Sean says, thank you. I've been feeling positive energy as well lately.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I never, looking back on my life, I didn't tend to notice those energy changes as strongly as I do now. But um, I think this year at least, I've been noticing them very strongly.
Yeah, being old and creaky will get us there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at. Now that I have reached the twilight of my days. But we're not quite at the end yet. I've
No,
been
but
studying my palm recently, and I can't help but notice that the end of my lifeline suggests that should be the brightest period. And although there are days I look at my life and say, "Well, how is that going to happen?" Nonetheless, there it is, right in my palm. So we'll see what comes in these next few years. And Large Fish says that the internet says that on the East Coast it will be at its peak around 12:13 a.m.
which would be about 11:13 p.m. I'm generally sound asleep by then, but we'll see. So,
I understand that here where I am, you will not be able to see the totality of it in any event. You will see, I think, 2/3, but that's still substantial, worth looking at.
we are partly cloudy. I'll have a look before I go to bed. But if we're partly cloudy, I will not be able to see it. Or very cloudy. We'll see. As Goody Bell says, ha ha, if you can feel the rain coming, you feel other things too.
Yeah.
Or as I was joking with my husband, remember when we first got together and I would shake my butt at you getting out of the car? Now I'm just trying not to fall flat on my face.
Yep. But nonetheless, here we are.
And my granddaughter assures me she's moving in with me once she graduates high school. She'll live here while she goes to college and works so she can take care of me.
I see.
Yes, because clearly I need taking care of.
Yes.
I love the sentiment, although apparently I'm that fragile. Yes, it is, Goody Bell. But yes, I'm so fragile, I clearly need a caretaker.
Indeed.
In about 5 years when she graduates, she estimates.
Well, at her age, 5 years seems like a very long time.
Yes, yes. She just turned 12. And she's still planning on being a famous YouTuber.
Yes.
I tell her I'm on YouTube, but I'm not. And she says, yes, but you're not famous yet. Yes, only 5 years. Eat. Yeah, yeah.
So, do we have any more questions for tonight?
Any more? Goody Bell says mine is 8 and X13 has big plans too.
Well, if we don't have any more questions, we can do our occasional reading for the nation.
In the future of Lake America.
Yes. What does the next 6 months hold?
6 months?
Yeah.
All right. The next 6 months in the United States. Does anybody in the chat room want to take a bet on we get the tower?
Okay, well, I've had an entire reading full of escapees, one at a time. First one, the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is alliance. And the way that I would take that is, whoever can build their alliances is going to be successful. Whoever cannot maintain their alliances will not be successful. That does kind of speak to the last several years. And so it's kind of saying it will be continued. So if you're in a position to hold together your alliances, hold them together. It is your best bet for the future. With that, we have justice. And, in a question like this, that's very much a double-edged sword. Exactly what constitutes justice is not necessarily, well, there's no circumstance in which it's good for everyone across the board. But yeah, we'll be seeing a lot of karmic issues playing out. Let's take it that way. And then got the 8 of Cups, with the little man and all the little phantoms, which is kind of saying, yeah, it may not be as bad as it seems, but there will be a lot of people worrying about a lot of things and blowing them out of proportion, even within the keeping that some things are of very great proportion. People will be tending to blow everything out of proportion, which of course they've been doing for a while now. We'll continue to see that energy. And the Brian escapee is magic. Work magic for what you want in the situation. Do not trust to chance, but manifest what you desire to see.
My first card is the Magus. Manifest, 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 manifest. My second card is the Soul. This is all about karmic lessons. We are learning karmic lessons. And remember, we are wrapping up the age of Pisces and starting the age of Aquarius. And then I've got the Veil. And this is learning hidden things, letting go of what binds you. And I'll pull a Brian card. And I've got the Ace of Cups. And I'm just going to say, act with empathy where it's due. I think is the best way to interpret this card in light of our question. It's not due everywhere. Goody Bell says, whose sense of justice?
Well, that's why I say in this case, I take it as karma.
There's an old saying, I remember my Baptist family saying, the wheels of God grind slowly but very finely. Meaning that justice might be slow in coming, but it will come.
And Goody Vale says, do the next right things. Well, that's always good advice. Stay loyal to your beloved people, absolutely, and causes, and hold the line. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I would say.
And manifest, as she says next. And yes, manifest what you want and need.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, there we go. And that does take us to the top of the hour.
Okay.
So when you
Hello,
see
top of the hour.
Hello, top of the hour. Yes, top of the hour to you.
Yes.
And will you close us out, please?
Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all you do for us in our lives, and we rejoice in this walk we walk together, and we ask you to help us to keep our eyes focused on the things we truly want in life, to keep our eyes focused on our spiritual needs and spiritual progress, as well as our physical needs and physical progress. Help us to build a better life and a better world, and to not be distracted by illusions and petty fears. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you with great love, and knowing you are always with us, still we thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always. May you be blessed now and always, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Blessed be.
Blessed be.